Reverend Steve, keeping it simple. We're going to be a new subject this week, and we're going to be talking about the Antichrist. This is a very deep subject, and it's been wondered about for the last 2,000 years. This character that's talked about in Scripture. It's quite amazing, really. And every generation has waited for this character to come on the scene. Even the first century church, in many writings, you could see that many of them believed that it can happen anytime. And I think God did that on purpose. He did that on purpose so we all know that nobody knows the time of day when this is going to happen. As we draw closer and closer to that day happening, I figured a beautiful, in-depth teaching about the Antichrist would be fitting. And I think it is fitting. And the first place to start in this, I'm going to be in 1 John chapter 2, verse 12. And this is John describing the Antichrist. And he's what he's saying, the spirit is already in the world, even in his time. He says there's been many Antichrists in this piece of scripture we're going to talk about and we're going to be teaching about. Many Antichrists. But as you read this, sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. As you read this, you could see that he's also pointing to somebody that's not around yet, that hasn't come. And what we're going to discuss in this series is this scripture and many other places where the Antichrist is brought up and talked about. And so we could see the attributes of him and what we should expect and when he comes on the scene. And Paul kind of tells us when that happens, and it's quite amazing. So before this gets too late and lose track, let's get into this. So we're going to be in 1 John, verse 2. Sorry, my series is popping up here. Get out of here. Thank you. So we're going to be in 1 John, verse 2. Deceptions of the last hour. Okay? Little children, it is the last hour. So John is telling us that the last hour, since Jesus' resurrection and ascension into heaven, it's been the last hour. So he's relaying that. You have heard that the Antichrist is coming. Even now, many Antichrists come. So he's acknowledging that there's many Antichrists. There's many people that are against Christ. And in his day, there was many, from Caesar all the way down to all the leaders at the time. They were Antichrist. Have come, by which we know that this is the last hour. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been with us, they would have continued with us. That we'll get into tomorrow. God bless.